Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips that are going to help you with the consistency of your toss. Tip number 1, instead of having your palm facing up when you toss, have your palm to the side. Here's the reason why. Now, I first want to say, if your palm is up and your toss is awesome, then ignore this advice, right? And you shouldn't even be watching this video if your toss is awesome. But if you're struggling with your toss, having the palm to the side can greatly improve the consistency. One, with the palm up, it's easy to flick the wrist. It's also easy to roll the ball off your fingers, and the ball has a ton of spin. And just anatomically, when our palm is up, our elbow points down, and then it's easy for us to bend our elbow when we toss. But when our palm is to the side, we're not going to flick our wrist as much. We're not going to roll the ball off our fingers. And now our elbow points to the side, so the only thing that lifts is our shoulder. So try hitting some serves if you're struggling with your toss, feeling like you're holding a glass of water and you're going to toss a glass of water in the air, and you don't want the ball to spin, right? So we're not doing this as we toss, like we're spilling the water. We just want to toss it up, and we don't want that water to spill. We don't want the glass of water to spin in the air. We're just tossing a glass. And when you toss, the goal is actually to make it so the ball doesn't rotate. It's very common that players with inconsistent tosses have a ball that spins in the air. So we're holding it like a glass of water, and we serve. That was a pretty good serve. So hold it like a glass of water, toss it like you're tossing the glass of water in the air, and you don't want the water to spill. Second tip is called the J toss. I'm a big fan of the J toss. It is actually the toss that I use on my serve. The reason it's called a J toss is the path the hand makes is like the letter J. When players toss, they often toss, players with an inconsistent toss as well, they'll toss and the ball ends up landing behind the baseline. So on a blue and green court, that would be in the green. It's important that we lean in on our serve. So when we toss, we want to try to toss so that the ball rainbows in the air. If I showed you from the side here, if I'm serving this way, I don't want you to think of the toss as being an elevator where the ball goes up and down an elevator shaft, but rather the ball travels like a rainbow. You look at the best servers in the world, their ball does not go up and straight down, but rather it arcs into the court. So one way we can do this is at the beginning of our serve, we can turn the ball past our tossing shoulder. At the beginning of the serve, again, if I'm serving this way, if I turn, pulling the ball behind my tossing shoulder, now I lift up, it's actually very easy for that ball to go into the court. So all of a sudden, it looks like the letter J. The ball is traveling like the letter J. If you're someone who constantly tosses behind you, and then you're leaning back as you're hitting the serve, try pulling at the beginning of your serve, try pulling the ball behind your tossing shoulder, and then toss into the court. And the ball actually goes forward. I like to kind of toss in a way that the ball bounces, 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 and goes to the service line. So try that drill, it's gonna help. I'm gonna hit a couple serves here where the ball is gonna come past my shoulder. So it's in front, the ball's in front of my shoulder. I turn, I bring the ball past my front shoulder, and now just because my arm's a radius, it just naturally pulls the toss into the court. Pull it back, and then hit. Felt good, but way long. That was good. So bring the ball past your front shoulder, your tossing shoulder, and then it'll be easier to toss into the court. Number 3, I want you to move your tossing arm slowly. It's very common that players with erratic tosses have a very quick lift of the tossing arm. It'll look like this. And then they have to catch the ball, and then they have to catch the ball. When you toss the ball, don't think of tossing, but think of more of placing the ball in the air. If you had a dinner plate, like a decorative dinner plate, and you wanted to put it up on a shelf for display, you wouldn't just chuck it up there, you'll break it. It's the same idea. I don't want you to toss the ball like you're tossing, but think of it as you're placing the ball in the air and in the way of your racket. So move the tossing arm very slowly. If you're someone who tosses too high, this is also the way to fix this. This is an inanimate object, right? The only way you can move an inanimate object quickly is to move your hand quickly. So if the ball is going up high, it just means that your tossing arm is going up too fast. So toss what feels to be, I should say, place the ball, what feels to be very slowly with a very slow arm. So I'm gonna move my tossing arm up slowly. Make sense? You're only going to toss slowly and place the ball in the air with a very slow tossing arm.
And if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to 2 Minute Tennis.
Number 4, when you release the ball, keep your tossing arm going up. This is actually one that I try to work on with my own serve. I have a tendency very soon after I toss to kind of stop my arm, and I'm trying to get my tossing arm to go up higher. So when you release the ball, let's say you release it right at head level, when you release the ball, keep the tossing arm going rather than stopping the moment you release. You wouldn't, let's say you're playing horseshoes, right? You ever play horseshoes or like bocce ball, right? You wouldn't really stop your hand the moment you release. You're gonna guide, remember, kind of placing that ball in the air. So when you release the ball, keep your arm going. I've made many videos on how the pros, their arm just moves from the shoulder and there's nothing that happens from their arm standpoint. All they do is release with the fingers and that's it. You don't want to get to the point where you're gonna release the ball and then stop your arm. That looks like this. Oh my gosh, I actually did not mean to swing and miss at that. We keep it rolling. That was really funny. Anybody watching be like, man, that guy stinks at tennis. So again, it makes for an erratic toss. That was awesome, actually. So you don't want to release your ball and then stop your hitting arm. Man, I'm totally off track here. I got to get my mindset. So you want to release the ball, but keep the arm going up smoothly. Just keep the arm going up. Yeah, even when I try to like focus on it, it feels a little strange to me because I don't do this enough. I actually like it though. I like the feeling. I like that a lot. All right, number 5, and it's why I have a hopper here. I want you to practice with a target, and you can put a hopper in front of you. Now you'll notice 2 things here. The hopper is to my right, and the hopper is in front of me. So I'm not working on like a kick serve where the hopper would have to be over here, where it'd still be in the blue, but it would be more in line with me. So I'm gonna be hitting like a flat serve, a slice serve with this toss. I'm gonna try to toss the ball into that hopper. Now, when I make contact with the ball, I don't have to make contact out above the hopper, because remember, the ball's gonna travel like a rainbow. So I'm gonna toss the ball, hopefully, right in, you got it, oh, almost, right into the hopper. So I'm gonna hold the ball like a glass of water. I'm gonna pull it back, that's the J toss. I'm gonna toss it slowly, tip 3. I'm gonna keep my arm going up even after I release the ball. That was tip 4. And I'm gonna see if I can hit a target. Not bad, not bad. Not bad, not bad at all. So having a target where you're trying to actually hit something physical or get the ball to go into the hopper is gonna make a nice little visual cue for you to hit some serves. All right, I'm gonna hit some serves. We'll see how it goes. And I'll do the deuce side too. But I'm just gonna try to have a consistent toss where I'm putting the ball in the same place over and over again. Do some on the deuce side. So work on those 5 tips. Hold the ball like a glass of water. Utilize the J-toss to bring the ball behind the tossing shoulder so it's easier to toss into the court. Toss the ball slowly by thinking of placing the ball in the air, lifting your tossing arm slowly. When you release the ball, don't abruptly stop the arm, but keep the tossing arm going up so you don't have this jarring movement when you release and the ball can go flying. And put a box or a ball hopper, put something in front of you so that when you toss, the ball doesn't go straight up and straight down like an elevator shaft, an elevator in an elevator shaft, but the ball actually arcs and rainbows into the court so you can lean in to the serve. You work on those 5 tips, there is no doubt. You're gonna gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.